and welcome to Quays News. I'm Ellie Double.
And I'm Courtney Davis. Here's what's coming up on the programme today.
It's a step between a food bank and a supermarket. We spoke to volunteers about what it means to them to help the community.
I spoke to 2 Manchester residents who are walking around in flippers for charity.
I visited a Salford dance school who finally reopened on Monday.
And Sean will be joining us live from the Dockyard pub.
We all know the importance of food banks, but how about a food bank that is a hand up instead of a handout? The Victory Outreach Manchester Church have opened their community grocery store whilst also making a home for their church services. Annie Walker has this report.
A step between a food bank and a supermarket. Whilst COVID restrictions are easing, the financial pressure it left behind is not. These volunteers, however, are dedicated to help those feeling the pinch of COVID.
I myself, years ago, came from drug addiction and came from poverty. And I remember not having any money, and I remember honestly feeling quite a bit of shame around it. Come from nothing to be able to then serve and to be able to help in the community, I had to get involved with it.
The shop has adopted 400 members in the 2 months their doors have been open. With £5 a year getting you 2 weekly shops for £3, the initiative can help some of the 620,000 people living in poverty in Greater Manchester.
I think it's a really good thing to do for the community, for those who are struggling and, might not be able to always make ends meet. So I feel very blessed to have found a place like this that feeds me and my family very well.
Donations from big-name brands like Co-op, Amazon, Tesco and more also helps to reduce food waste in the area, as brands can donate goods that are close to their expiry date. The community grocery shop is also home to their church services, which take place in here. And with over 20 volunteers, this shop has become an essential part of the community.
Because where I came from addiction, it's important, just to get back into society. I'm loving it actually, yeah.
Do you find that it's helped you with recovery and things?
Oh yeah, big time, yeah, it has, yeah. It helps me to reflect on where I was and where I am now.
It's clear the volunteers value the people and relationships formed here by making a safe space for both worship and interaction.
We will do what we can do, not in just food, but in our wraparound services, in our church services, whatever we can do to help you journey through this financial hardship.
Thanks to these volunteers, Salford residents can now wave the stress of the food shop goodbye. Annie Walker, Quays News.
Ellie, have you ever thought about climbing up Mount Snowdon in flippers?
I can't say I have, no.
Well, I went and found out about 2 Manchester residents who are doing it for charity. One of them is known as an extreme flipper walker and even been featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not.
That was it. I just made a decision. I'll bring back the flippers. I'll do something mad. And then it was like, let's go up Mount Snowdon in flippers.
You may have seen Craig Keatley out walking around Manchester, Salford and Bolton in his flippers. He started flipper walking in 2017 and retired from it 18 months ago after he did a 31-mile charity walk. But after a tough year, Craig decided to dive for his flippers again.
There was never enough smiles and laughter going out because of obviously COVID. People love to see something different, and they've done it from day one to now. It's nicer to see a lot more smiles and laughter about it, because at the end of the day, it is wacky to see some 50-year-old guy walking around in massive footwear.
He shares his fundraisers across social media alongside the public's comments and support, but he also finds that when he's out training for his Snowdon hike, people are more than generous.
Hello everyone.
How have you found the public have supported you?
There's a guy who's he's given me a painting he's done to auction off. I've got a guy said he'll come with me to Snowdonia to help me and carry some stuff up. I've got so many people have just given me stuff on when I'm out on walk, and giving chocolate bars and drinks and stuff like that. But the people are it's incredible.
This year he has even taken on a Flipper Keats apprentice. After supporting Craig on his charity walk in 2019, Alan Bancroft decided to buy his own and learn this new way of walking for himself.
It's just something to get used to, a bit of training. The more they try it, the better it's going to be, or a lot easier it's going to be. We've had a couple of falls and trips, but that's just part and parcel of it. But the more we get out, the better.
Next time you're out and you think you see someone walking in flippers, you're not actually seeing things, give them both a shout and a wave of encouragement. Courtney Davis, Quays News, Manchester.
And from flippers to ballet slippers, I caught up with JD Dance in Higher Broughton about their reopening this week. This time last year, JD Dance in Higher Broughton had just moved to a new studio, 2 weeks before the first lockdown.
I didn't want to do Zoom at first, so I started doing like YouTube videos, and as things started easing up, I started going out every Saturday morning when we'd normally be at dance. I started going and driving to the children's houses and talking to them from like my car, and I'd drop off sweets, I'd throw them in the garden, and they'd like try and land them on the doorstep for them.
This week, they went back to in-person classes after having to close for the third time at the end of 2020.
It was so nice, like we had a full class, everyone was in happy spirits, like the parents, the children, everyone was just happy, and we had a lot of new children as well.
Well, Zoom is just like not good, but when it's like Zoom with Jenna, she like makes it fun, and like we always have a good time and everything.
With the year of 2020 making history for so many reasons, what better way is there for dance students to learn about it than through a performance?
Hoping to do a show in September. We're going to base it on all the headlines of 2020, so that we can learn whilst we're dancing. So we're going to do like a dance on Black Lives Matter, because they can learn about racism and learn what not to do. And then we're going to do a dance on Captain Tom and learn about everything that he did.
One of the students performing in the show is 11-year-old Neve, who went back to dance classes this week.
I will be excited, but maybe a bit nervous because I wouldn't have had the proper teaching that I would have if I'd been face-to-face there.
So now the students at JD Dance and other dance schools across the country are finally back to perfecting their pirouettes and pliés in person. Ellie Double, Quays News, Salford. Isn't dance such a great way to get your fitness levels back up after lockdown?
It really is, but I'm excited to get back to the gym this week too. We've sent Jen out to go and find out about how gym's reopening has had a positive effect on people's mental health.
It is to be out and about in Salford today, and with gyms reopening on Monday, I decided to talk to a personal trainer who has only just started personal training on Monday. He believes that exercise is really beneficial for your mental health.
What would you say your tips are for keeping fit?
Sleep, rest, train hard, and don't overeat rubbish.
Would you say that fitness and gym and football, just exercise in general, has helped your mental health and your mental state?
I've kind of battled mental health since I was, I'd say all my life really, but it come to a tilt when I was 21. And I took an overdose when I was 21.
Oh wow!
And I ended up quite ill. And the last 2 or 3 years, I've talked to 3 friends out of killing themselves, like from suicide talks and rounds and helps them. And I still kind of support them now. So last year, I just decided, you know what? While I'm on the city doing nothing, I did a couple of online courses. I did my level 1 in mental health, my level 2, and then my mental health first aid. I thought, I don't want to be preaching to someone if I don't understand it fully myself.
Yeah.
I find if I have a bad day and I'm stressed, a couple of hours in the gym, I'm fine. Like some people like to go boxing, punch a bag. I like to come in and just throw a bit of weight, lounge, and just get headphones in, forget about everything for a couple of hours. Mm-hmm. And I seriously, I can cure half of my problems just by being in here. But it took me years to find that. If me speaking up about battling it can help someone else, help one person, I'm happy with that.
And of course, pubs and hairdressers have both been able to reopen this week, so how was your first trip back to the pub, Courtney?
It was very good. It was nice to be back with all my friends and back out again. Did you go?
I didn't. I've not made it there yet, but I did go and get my hair cut. Definitely needed to after 3 lockdowns worth.
Well, over on Twitter, we asked you where you headed to first after the easing of restrictions this week. We gave you the options of the gym, pub or hairdressers, and here's what you had to say about it.
Not surprisingly, it looks like the pubs just won this one. Just out of curiosity, where did you go first?
I followed the majority and went to the pub.
Well, that's all we have time for today.
Thank you for watching. Now it's time for us to go and join Sean in the pub.
Goodbye.